Yo, vapers, what's up, everyone? So, let's talk about a year old or a 2 years old RDA. I just got it few days ago from a friend of mine. It's Claymore RDA, right? So, what I have heard from everyone that this is a flavor banger RDA. So, I thought I should give it a try, and I have been using this with my Pulse V2 uh, squonk mod, because without the squonk mod you have to drip this RDA like every 3 4 5 hits, right? So I'm not showing you the box, because in the box you just get a squonk pin that I have already installed here. You just get 2 extra screws and an extra drip tip. Now, at the beginning, I can say you in both of the drip tip, I don't like any of them, right? This is one, another one they gave a little smaller one, but a little higher. But this one looks aesthetically very good here, but I don't like any of them because this top cap gets very hot, and this is so short you cannot put your mouth without touching your lips here, so your lips gets hot, right? So I'll talk about that at the end of the video more. So if you open it, you can see I've been using this RDA. I just pulled out the cotton from the base, so I thought I will just make a video about it. So you can see there is the air slot there, and there is one. So air comes from here, goes down and goes through this slot and hit your coil, right? So this is a side airflow RDA, just the airflow comes from the top. So you can understand this is kind of a leak proof RDA, and I have been squonking it for last 15 days 20 days, and I haven't able to get it leaked. So that's one thing, right? So you can see the conical shape, very simple thing. This is your airflow ring, right? So you can move it, so close, and at this side open, right? So I'm waiting for a new 510 drip tip. So after that I can say how many drip tips are gonna work in here, right? So let me just pull out the drip tip first. Let me tell you one thing. So all the drip tips that are in the market, right, there are 2 o-rings I have seen, and this 510 drip tip has only one. So I'm not sure if everything's gonna fit in here, but I have been waiting for a drip tip that has 2 o-ring, right? So I'll be waiting for that. So the drip tip goes here, and if you want to you can even separate this airflow ring as well, right? You can just pull it, twist and pull, and this will come off, but I don't think that is necessary, but still I'm gonna do it. So you see there are 2 o-rings that is holding this airflow, and your 510 goes here, and this is the airflow. This is quite tight, so that is not an issue. And oh, another thing, if you don't remove the drip tip, you cannot remove the airflow ring, right? So that's that. Okay, that let's talk about the base. So this is the base. So you can see airflow comes down here and goes through this airflow port, and it hits your coil. And this is the simple base, your squonk pin I have installed, you see, right? So juice comes from here and goes to the well. You can really push the squonk bottle really tight and still gets no leaking, right? So I've been using it with this coil couple of days. I just got a dry hit. So I'm not sure what was my fault, because the wick was wet, but I still got a dry hit, very bad dry hit. So I'm just changing out the coil. I don't know if the issue is with the coil or anything else, but that's that. Okay, so I have this coil in my hand. This is an 3mm alien coil, right? I'm going to put 4 wraps, because otherwise this will be too much for this RD, I think. So let's build it, okay, and then we'll talk about more about this RDA, right? Yes. Okay, so let's talk about the RDA, right? So it will they will give you a beauty ring with it. So it's a 22 millimeter RDA, so you can make it a 24 millimeter, right, with the beauty ring. So I'm not using the beauty ring myself right now. Okay, so let's talk about the pros and cons, right? Because this RDA has cons and pros as well, right? Okay, so let's start from the top. This RTA has a 510 drip tip, right? And this 510 drip tip is very short, right? The one they give you, another one they give you, that the hole is tighter than this one, right? So that you will have a tighter draw. So that one I don't like. This one I also don't like because this is very small. So when I got it, so I thought my lips are already small, so this won't be an issue. But this is an issue, right? So this wouldn't be an issue if the top cap didn't heat that well, right? So it becomes really warm, right? So I have given 3-4 puffs already. The top cap is warm. So they sell plastic top caps, I think, multicolor plastic top caps. I don't know if those will be any of the benefits, but I don't like those plastic caps, so I'm not buying this. Those feels really cheap, as I have seen. Okay, in other reviews, I have seen people get a little bit of whistle or different kind of sound, but I did not got those sound, right? Because when I got this RDA, the O-rings were very bad, so I replaced the O-rings with the extra O-rings they gave you, and now it's fine. I think the sounds it makes because this top cap doesn't sit properly with those O-rings, right? So if you change the O-rings and it sits properly, then I think you will not have any sound issue, right? Okay, now let me talk about the build, right? The coil building things. So there are two ways people are building in this RDF. One is you put the coil a little bit higher than the airflow, so you get the airflow under coil action, right? So you can see the hole without the coil, right? From the airflow, if you check, you cannot see the coil. So I have built that way, and right now I have built it a little lower, so you can see the half of the coil, half bottom half of the coil you can see through right now. So both have issues, both have pros and cons. So if you build the coil a little bit higher, yes, you get a little bit more airflow, but you get speed back. So if you don't want to get speed back, you need to put your coil a little bit lower. Then you will not get any speed back. Now the RDA is so little that even if you build the coil a little lower, it doesn't affect the flavor that much. A little, but that much. So now if you build a little lower, so say I'm right now vaping a juice called Tokyo Chocolate Banana, right? By I think the juice brand is called Saucy juice, right? So this is a Tokyo Chocolate Banana. This is a very sweet juice. So if I build a coil a little higher, all the flavor notes are okay and I get a little more sweetness from the juice. But if I build a little low, the coil little lower, I get a little less sweetness, but the flavor notes are all there. So I think you should build a little lower so that you don't get speedback, because you don't want speedback, right? And I think if you get a taller 510 drip tip, I think that can also resolve that issue as well. I have to test that after I get my top cap drip tip. So I did not wait till that long, but till I get the drip tip to do the review. So that's that. Okay, so the clouds you can see as a very small RDA, I'm getting quite a good cloud, and yes, I'm getting a good flavor. The flavor is very good. If I give it a rating of out of 10, I would give it a 7.5 to 8, not more than that. So this is a good flavoring RDA, but also if you are not using any squonk mode with it, if you are planning to drip through to the top, so as it's a 510 small drip tip, it is a little bit higher, so you have to paint it. But if you want to paint it every time, right, this top cap you have to align pretty well to put without if you do not align the top cap well, it will not, you see, it is not sitting. So you have to check, right, then you have to then it will sit. So that is an issue if you are if you are painting your coil. So to take it off and put it right back properly, this will be a pain in the ass, right? So I think this is suited for squonking. It is not suited for dripping or painting, I think. So you should use it with a squonking device, right? So if is there anything else to talk about? The flavor is good. The 510, like I actually use 810 drip tip all the time, so 510 is a little bit issue for me. So that's that. Let's see with a better 510 if I can manage to get a little more enjoyment out of it, right? Okay, another thing, you try to build it higher, right, higher resistance. So right now it is reading at 0.28. I'm vaping at 50 to 55 watt. Previously I was using a 0.2 ohm coil and I was using at 60 or 65 watt. That was giving me a very good flavor, like proper flavor, but the juice was like I have to squonk it every few hits, right? So try to build it higher. Also, if you build it that low, with the top cap gets hot very fast, so that is an issue as well. So try to build it higher, like 3 ohm, 3.5, 4. That is the sweet spot, I think, for this RDA, because the top cup gets hot and you will not be able to vape it properly without if it gets hot, really hot, right? So that's it. So if I give it a rating overall, RDA, the price, okay, let's talk about the price. The price is really low, right? In our country it is like 20 to 25 dollar, right? So for that cheap, I think this is a very good RDA, right? And if I give it a rating overall, I will give it a 7, right? Overall rating. Building is very easy. The squonking is really good, leak proof, the airflow is good, the flavor is good. You have some issues, so if you plus minus everything, you get a 7 from me for this RDA, right? Okay, I'll see you in the next video. I'm using an Blaze RTA for a couple of months right now, so I'll give it the Blaze RTA review for so I'll review the Blaze RTA, a long-term review, you can say. Keep your eyes open, because that has one big issue as well. I'll talk about in that video. Okay, so keep on vaping, guys. Bye bye.